This is interesting. Zog and I have been given our first fuel cell equipped car to drive. It's the Hyundai ix35. I've looked in the boot. There's a great big tank of hydrogen there, filling our fuel cell, and it goes quietly.
Well, this is a whole new transport experience for us.
Absolutely.
First time in a in hydrogen fuel cell car.
Turn left and then immediately right.
There's something ever so slightly science fiction still about driving around in an electric car, because of course this type of hydrogen car is an electric car. It simply uses that hydrogen to power a fuel cell which creates electricity, which drives the electric motors, pushing us forward at that sort of acceleration rate that you get from an electric car. That's pretty handy, wasn't it? And it's got energy recovery as well, which adds to the efficiency.
Yeah, which obviously in an electric powertrain vehicle is, you know, entirely sensible, if you like, rather than being an extra. You know, it's right there in there at the heart of it, because if you've got an electric motor works as a generator as well as the motor, so it makes absolute sense to take advantage of that ability for it to do both, to recover energy and make the whole thing more efficient.
Efficiency is the key there, because you're using basically the same device as to power it and to recover your energy, and that's smart. You know, the fewer number of components, or a component which can do more than one job, adds to the efficiency.
Well, and even more important in that respect, you're not throwing away energy. You know, you burn some fuel, which the internal combustion engine turns into forward motion, kinetic energy, and then when you hit the brakes, the kinetic energy gets turned to heat and is wasted. It's lost to the atmosphere. On the other hand, in an electric vehicle, you can slow down by turning the motor backwards, if you like, running it as a generator, and instead that kinetic energy gets turned into electricity that you can store on your battery, and then you turn that back into kinetic energy when you want to go again. One of the challenges with hydrogen is how you store it. You can store it as a liquid, but liquid hydrogen is very cold and it tends to evaporate and tends to lose it. Or you can store it as a compressed gas, or you can store it in
attached to as a metal hydride.
Is that right? Yeah. And did I miss a turning back there?
I think we probably did. We were having too much fun.
Yeah.
We need to do right about 30 metres, it says.
Sorry guys, we're not running away with your cars.
May never see them again. Talking about the storage, I had a look in the boot while you were familiarising yourself with the controls. This right here, I guess.
Yeah, got it.
I looked in the boot. There is a hydrogen tank there with compressed hydrogen stored at about 700 bar, which sounds to me pretty scary. That sounds like a hydrogen bomb.
No, it's terrifyingly high pressure. It's enormously high pressure, and it's I believe it's something of a challenge to build a tank that's cheap and light and can store stuff at that pressure. Let's get back there and find out how they did it.
Yeah. Okay, I think I've got to swap over now, haven't we? I think I get to drive.
Yes, I think you do.
Ooh, subtle on the throttle there. And let's just see what the acceleration and electric fuel cell car is like.
You have reached your tool point. The tool point is to the right.
Okay, let's try that again. Let's see. It's not like Tesla acceleration, but it's certainly,
turn right.
I would say, better than... Well, it's about the same as a petrol car, not sort of the surge you get from a diesel at low revs. And I would imagine it would just carry on accelerating the same way, regardless of the speed, because it's an electric motor.
But yet the acceleration is good and strong.
Yeah, good and strong, yeah.
Not quite the Tesla Roadster, but
neither is it a milk float.
Exactly, but it's not a small car. No, it's...
Let's let this chap go.
I'd be very happy with this performance around town.
Yeah. But the nice thing is that, of course, that it's quiet and there's only water coming out the exhaust pipe at the moment. That's right, isn't it? A dribble of water.
Yeah. In 100 metres, turn left.
So we're actually driving a car that was powered in the same way as the electrical systems on board the Apollo Command and Service module.
Yeah, which is, you know, a little comparison that one can never resist making, because
that's just cool.
It's
just cool. Yeah, it goes.
Let's just turn the air conditioning off for a second,
Yeah.
in order that we can.
So we're not blowing across the microphone.
Well, and also to hear a bit more of kind of what
turn right, and then you will reach your tour
what the car sounds like when it's on the move,
Okay.
without the aircon.
We'll be quiet then.
Yeah.
Here we go. Listen. Not very much. It's basically the sound of the wheels and the drivetrain. Yeah, tyre noise.
Now, turn right and then right.
The sat nav is the noisiest thing.
It is, yeah. No, I think we're the noisiest thing. And the range of this particular car is 500 and something kilometres.
594 kilometres was the range that's quoted on 5.5 kilos of fuel, I think, is what it can store in the tank.
Oh, maybe we should have done that right. I approve of hydrogen cars, but I think they do have a slight image problem.
Now, turn left and then left.
Whilst hydrogen, to those in the know, seems like a fuel of the future, a hydrogen car is quite a science fiction thing.
In 100 meters, turn left and then left.
For some people, hydrogen carries with it the legacy of the Hindenburg disaster. Now, hydrogen was not responsible for the crash of the Hindenburg. It was actually the paint, as I understood, which
turn
oxidised.
left and then left.
I think it's disputed.
Now, turn left.
Okay.
What the,
That one. Okay.
what the cause of the
That
explosion was. But it was painted with
Now, turn
a
right.
mixture of nitrocellulose, which is an explosive, and aluminium powder.
Which is
very well
basically the fuel
Yeah.
of the side rocket
It's a-
motors in
a
the
dry
space
fuel.
shuttle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hydrogen is.
In 100
But yeah, you
meters,
say that
turn right and then right.
Hindenburg association is there for some people, I guess. But you know, which is silly
turn
because
right.
you know, when you drive around in a petrol car, you're driving around with a tank full of
In 100
a very
meters,
explosive
turn right onto Hammersmith Road.
substance that, you know, has a lot of power in it. If your petrol tank
Now,
goes up,
turn right.
that's quite a big bang.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't happen very often because actually, you know, you need to mix it with oxygen in order to burn it, and a tank of liquid fuel is always a different thing to a tank of explosive vapor, which is what you need to make a bang. How safe is it to have a tank of compressed gas? In fact, a tank of gas that's compressed to a very high pressure in your vehicle. Now, again, I mean, a lot of vehicles drive around with tanks of.
I know you're a fan of electric vehicles because, well, as we've discussed before, it's a very smart way of turning wheels.
How can you not be a fan of electric cars? An electric drivetrain is more efficient than an internal combustion engine powertrain. We're going to run out of fossil fuel at some point. It's not going to get any cheaper, and we can't even afford to burn the stuff that we do have. So bring on the electricity.
The only problem at the moment with hydrogen cars is it's like buying a petrol car in 1850. There weren't any fuel stations around where you could refuel it, but there are the beginnings of it, the hydrogen infrastructure going in place at the moment. There's a fuel station over at Heathrow, there's one in Bristol, there's one in South London, there's one going to be slightly up the A1 very soon, or the M1, and there's going to be 65 hydrogen filling stations around the UK at some point in the next couple of years. at stations like Morrison's and Sainsbury's, which is interesting, sidestepping, your BPs and your Shells.
The fact that you can name where the stations are illustrates just how few stations there are at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
but everything has to start somewhere. Yes, but you need that infrastructure of enough stations before things really take off. And this car that we're driving at the moment, this ix35 fuel cell vehicle, is one of what's going to be a mini fleet of about 1,000 cars that they're going to be running in the UK, more or less as a trial and a demonstrator of the technology. And during that time, there'll be more stations rolled out, as you say, with a target of 65 by 2015.
Hyundai are very proud of the fact that they're no longer building what are effectively prototype fuel cell cars. They've already entered what they consider to be series production. We're sort of beta testers now, I suppose. But when you're building 1,000 cars and they're talking about building 10,000 cars at some point in the next few years, that's quite a ramp up, isn't it? That's and they're talking about refining the production system so that they can build them mass production. It's a simple machine, though, isn't it? Really, the rest of the car's the same. It's only the bottles in the back, the electronics, and the motors. That's
They'll
it,
be different.
Yeah.
Well, you would think. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, it's just it's the different powertrain.
We know how to build electronics. We know how to build electric motors. I've got to get over 3 lanes now, haven't I? Thank you very much.
You will be over there. There you go. Yeah, nice one. Okay. Yes, even in a hydrogen fuel cell vehicle, negotiating London traffic is still a little bit primitive. Yeah, and I've been on the hydrogen fueled buses that run in London a couple of times, which of course have a slightly sort of they look a little bit top heavy because of the large hydrogen tank they carry around in the roof.
But they're nice and quiet, I would imagine, like this.
Yeah. Yeah, no, as far as I know, it was a good quiet ride.
I have to say, this is a very cool vehicle. If I knew I had a hydrogen filling station at the end of my road, and one in North Wales and one in Leeds and one in Cornwall, then I could own a car like this. You could just go off and use it. Hey, let's see if fuel cells work in reverse. Quiet. I like fuel cell powered cars. They're quite cool, but as we all know, the coolest thing about the fuel cell is it was invented by a Welshman. Is this the first Welsh?
Actually, Gareth didn't actually make that one up.
No, I didn't. That is actually true. It's something that the Welsh are very proud of, that we invented the fuel cell. In 1839 was the guy, was it? Now where do they want us?
It was quite a long time. I'd put it up there on the
put
right.
it up over here, yeah.
Where we were before.
The fact that it powered the command and service module was pretty cool, but the fact that it was invented by a Welshman and driven by this Welshman for the first time makes me very happy indeed. Are we on the curb? No. Gareth Jones on speed!